Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a big topic, creating a practical safety plan for times of civil unrest. We're going to break it all down, step by step, using advice from the experts to build a plan that actually works for you and your family. So, the source material we're pulling from today kicks off with this really stark statement. I know it can feel a little alarming at first glance, but hang on. The point isn't to scare you. Let's reframe this whole idea. Because the core idea here is that you are the one in control of your own safety. That's what this is all about. And having a solid plan, well, that's the ultimate tool for self-reliance. It's what lets you act decisively instead of just reacting out of panic. All right, let's get into it. We've got a really clear roadmap for this explainer. We're going to break this whole thing down into 5 easy-to-manage sections. Let's build this plan together. Okay, first things first. To prepare for something, you've got to know what that something actually is, right? So what is civil unrest? Because, it covers a whole lot of ground.
Yeah, see, it's not just one single thing. It's really a broad term for all sorts of group disruptions. It could stem from political stuff, social issues, economic problems, you name it.
And you can really see that range here. On one end, you have peaceful protests and marches, but on the other, you can have much more volatile situations like riots and looting, where things can get dangerous fast. All right, so now we get to what the experts say is the single most critical choice you have to make. Seriously, this one decision is going to shape everything else you do. Your whole strategy, everything we're about to talk about, really boils down to one fundamental question. Do you stay or do you go? So you've got 2 main paths, right? Plan A is to shelter in place, basically fortify your home and hunker down. Then there's Plan B, evacuate. That's your escape plan for when staying home becomes too dangerous. A good plan needs both.
All right, let's kick things off with Plan A, fortifying your home. The goal here is to make your home what's called a hard target, basically turning it into your personal fortress.
So how do you do that? Well, you start by making your home way less attractive to anyone looking for trouble. Think about it. Securing all your entry points with heavy-duty locks, reinforcing your windows, even simple things like clearing your yard of anything that could be picked up and thrown, like a rock or a heavy planter. And for a worst-case scenario, the guides suggest having a safe room. Now, this doesn't have to be some panic room from a movie. It can just be an interior room, like a closet or a bathroom, that you can barricade from the inside. It's your last line of defense. Of course, your fortress is no good without supplies, right? You're going to want at least a 3-day supply of the basics for every single person. We're talking water, food, meds, and hey, look at that little detail. A manual can opener. Seems so small, but if the power's out, it's a lifesaver. Okay, so that's Plan A. But what if staying isn't an option? That brings us to Plan B, your escape plan. This is just as critical because sometimes the smartest move is to get out of there. And the heart of any good escape plan is the go bag. You need one for each person, packed and ready with enough stuff to last 72 hours. And listen, don't forget the documents and cash. When things go sideways, you can't count on ATMs or credit cards, so having hard copies of IDs and some cash on hand is huge. Next up, your vehicle. It's your lifeline, and it needs its own kit. What I love about this breakdown is how practical it is. It's not just fuel and tools. It's thinking about escape and safety, like what if you need a bolt cutter, and survival. What if you have to ditch the car and walk? You'll be glad you packed those extra shoes. And here's the bottom line. When you have to go now. Seconds matter. So get into these simple habits. Always keep the tank at least half full, park facing out so you can just pull away, keep the go bags in the car. These little things can save you so much precious time. All right, we've covered staying, we've covered going, but what's the glue that holds it all together? Communication. Seriously, whether it's Plan A or Plan B, none of it works if you can't get in touch with your family. It's the absolute lifeline. So here's the 3-part playbook. 1, have multiple ways to talk. Don't just count on your cell phone. 2, have a few different meeting points. A main one, a backup, and a backup for the backup. And 3, set a schedule for when you'll try to check in. That way, nobody panics if they can't get through immediately. And here's a great pro tip from the experts. When cell towers get totally overloaded, and they will, phone calls might not work. But text messages, they use way less bandwidth and often sneak through. So make it a family rule. If you can't call, text. Now, when it's time to actually evacuate, you want to avoid that last-minute chaos, right? This is where coordination is everything. Give everyone a job. You grab the documents, you get the cat. It turns a mad dash into a smooth, orderly exit where nothing important gets left behind. So, when you look at all of this, you realize it's not about being afraid. It's the complete opposite. It's about empowerment. It's about giving you a plan so you can act with confidence to protect what matters most, your family. So, let's wrap this up. The biggest takeaway here is that preparedness is really just peace of mind. A plan gives you power. So I'll leave you with this question. After seeing all this, what's the very first step, just one small thing, that you're going to take to start building your plan?